Hello, fellow sojourners. I'm your host, Dave Layton, and welcome to Travel with a Purpose, a podcast designed to keep sojourners and friends informed, entertained, and inspired. In today's episode, we're going to be talking again with Danny and Lynn Spain. Now, they've been on the show a couple of times and fascinating the things that they have done. Well, they just completed a trip this past summer that a lot of us, myself specifically, have on our bucket list. And they had a lot of adventures and a few misadventures along the way. And so we're going to talk about this incredible trip that they were on this summer. Well, hello, Danny and Lynn.
Hello.
Hello.
I don't know if I would be brave enough to take an RV on an Alaskan trip, but I would love to ride on the Alaskan Railway. And, I did the episode on the Alaskan Highway, Alaskan Highway, and learned a lot. So fascinating. Okay, so you traveled all throughout Alaska. Was it the whole summer?
We did. We were there probably in Alaska for about 8 weeks, and then travel time through Canada and back. So it was a full summer.
Yeah. I noticed on one of your videos y'all did about crossing the border into Canada. Did you have any issues with that?
We crossed the border into Canada, at least twice? Twice.
Okay.
And both times, no issues, no problems at all. Very friendly.
Okay.
They want people to come through Canada and spend time in Canada.
Sure.
They were nice. No issues. Did we have anybody get searched or anything? Or
No.
we traveled with a group of 4, so I don't think anybody got searched either time.
I think it was actually harder to get back into the U.S.
Okay. Yeah, y'all look
Well,
like
when
the
we came
illegal
back
aliens.
it wasn't real hard when we came back into
No.
the U.S. When we crossed it on top of the World Highway. So it was our small border crossing.
I had looked at doing a sojourn up in the Saguenay area back during the COVID years, and it was just almost impossible. There was once you got into the country, you had to be quarantined for 2 weeks. And then you had to be quarantined again before they'd let you come back into the U.S. So it was going to be 6 weeks on a sojourn. It's like, I can't do that.
Yeah,
so we had to,
I'm glad those days are over.
But I'm glad to hear it's easier because Canada, our neighbors, but a beautiful country from what I've seen of pictures. I've never been there. So, okay.
Yes, beautiful.
Well, great. So we want to talk about your trip to Alaska because, like I said, there's probably a lot of us that would love to tour that. I've been there and enjoyed it. Beautiful, beautiful state. Amazingly beautiful. I have never been so cold in my life as standing at Earthquake Park overlooking the inlet there where the big earthquake was back in the 60s. And I was dressed for Alabama winter. That was not even in the universe of Alaskan winter. So, and that was in March.
Yeah.
Brutal. All right. Enough of me talking. Share with us some information about your trip.
Well, as you said, it's on a lot of people's bucket list, and I think Lynn started talking about it, but we both had it on our bucket list to travel. And, people choose different ways. Some people call us crazy for taking a Class A through Canada, up the Alaskan Highway and through all the rough roads of Alaska. But we knew it was going to be a once in a lifetime trip.
Yeah.
Hey, we're going to do this yearly with our Class A. We've got friends that even one of the people we went with go on a regular basis and on their rigs. But we knew we wanted to do it once, so we could say we've been on the Alaskan Highway. We've been through Alaska, so we knew we wanted to do it once, and that's something. So
Canada was every bit as amazing as Alaska. There is so much to see going through Canada, and we wanted to be able to see it at least once.
Yeah, if you didn't drive it, you would have missed Banff National Park in Canada. You would have missed Jasper National Park in Canada.
Just the drive.
You would have missed Icefield Parkways in Canada. You would have missed the Alaskan Highway. So we didn't want to miss those things. So that's how we came to the decision. Yeah, let's drive, because many friends will fly in, many will take a cruise in, and those are all great. But we wanted to do it one time to say we drove through those and not miss some of those other items that were on our list.
Okay, now, did you start at Dawson City, the 0 mile marker? I don't remember.
We actually started, we crossed into Canada. Is the 0 mile marker? At Great Falls, Montana, okay. And went up from there to mile marker 0 of the Alaskan Highway.
Okay.
Yeah. We had some adventures planned beforehand. We stopped at Wind Cave National Park. Didn't get to do much there. They were having some issues with elevators, but and then we drove up, met friends in Great Falls, Montana as a starting point, as Lynn said. So and then we went up to the Alaskan Highway.
Man, that's great. Our daughter and her husband were stationed at Elmendorf there in Anchorage, and that was what got us up there on a trip. And we drove over to Seward Island. So I got to see that part, or Seward, Alaska, excuse me. I got to see that part of it. And it just incredible. Yes, it is. I think that was the first time I had actually seen bald eagles in nature. You know, I've seen them whatever in captivity, but that was the first time on that. Okay, great. So how did you come up with the idea? You said it's kind of been on your list for a while.
Yeah, we've been, we started our RVing. We call ourselves most timers, so we're out on the road 8-9 months a year. But we started talking about it a couple of years ago, at least, maybe longer.
We had planned it for a couple of years ago, but when Elena got sick and everything, it kind of threw us behind.
Yeah.
And so we just wanted to do it. We wanted to do it while we felt like we were still young enough to make the trip.
Yeah.
And do the hiking and stuff, because we both love to hike. And
Oh, and I appreciate that you shared that tour with us. We'll talk about that in a few minutes. But well, I had a question, then I lost it. It'll come back. You said you traveled with 4. Let's see, the Boatwrights were with you?
Yeah, we always on our trips, we try to time sojourn. And we've done this for years, where are we going and what's along the way that we can help people. Eventually we might do some favorites over and over again, like some people do, but right now we're in travel mode and getting out there. So we knew there was a sojourn in Alaska and Soldotna. And so we talked to Tom and Donna, and they're green dots. We helped them get in. They're from Clarksville. So, and we were talking with the Paynes, who are also sojourners.
They were supposed to go, but they didn't get to make it.
They didn't get to make it. Then, so we were going to Soldotna, and then we had some friends that said, "Hey, we'd love to join your adventure." So we had some long-time friends, people Lynn basically grew up with. Went with us, Jerry and Debbie.
Okay.
And then Deb and Joel went with us.
So we had a couple of sojourner couples and couple people, 2 groups.
Were just friends.
Yeah, just friends.
Yeah. Something like that has got to be wonderful, but then to share it with friends in a group has got to be amazing as well. So I can see where that would be a lot of fun. I remembered what it was I was going to mention. You use the expression most timers. Lynn, you gave me that expression the first time we interviewed together, and I have stolen it from you. I've used it to describe other folks. I love that, most timers.
Yeah. Most of the time on the road.
Yeah.
Sometime at home.
Yeah, as we probably told back then, we downsized to a condo that we can pick up and leave, lock the doors, and they'll take care of the outside. Yep. So we're able to travel whenever we want to.
Yeah, that's great. Well, let's talk about the trip. What were some of the highlights? We'll talk about the highlights, and then we'll talk about the lowlights, but the highlights first.
Okay, I have two that were at the top of my list, and one of them was Hatcher's Pass. Hatcher's Pass was absolutely incredible. Like we got up and walked on a glacier and hiked to the top of a mountain. I thought we would die, but we didn't. But it was just amazing. And then the other thing that's like at the top of the whole summer was we took the plane ride and rode up into the mountain and landed on a glacier. Yeah. That was like nothing I had ever seen or done before. It was just crazy.
Yeah, we took the flight out to Talkeetna. This is one of my favorites too, and flew around Denali, Mount McKinley, and then landed on Ruth Glacier. It's just amazing. They just land these planes onto this glacier. You spend 20, 30 minutes out on the glacier, looking around, taking pictures.
Everywhere up in all in this snow.
Yeah, you don't get too far away from the plane, but they don't want you too far. But it was just amazing that all you got to see from the and just a side note, we used Alaska Tour Savers, which gave us 2 flights for the price of one. So we're kind of frugal, so we make sure we use those.
We saved money on the trip. We spent it, but we saved it too.
Saved it where we could.
Yeah. I on trip up to Alaska, my son-in-law had made arrangements with somebody that was a bush pilot. And unfortunately, the weather was really bad and we didn't get to take the trip. So when I saw you guys were on that plane, I thought, oh, man, that's on my list. That would have been great. By the way, even in the summertime, there's places it's just cold up there.
Yeah. Most days we're in the 60s and it gets down in the 40s. Some nights get down in the 30s.
Yeah, we had a lot of cold, though, because the nights would get the days would be fine, but the nights would get cold. And we had several days that it was really like when we were in Mount McKinley, when we were there, it just rained like almost the whole time. And so we didn't get the sun and it just stayed damp and cold.
Yeah, that was the week we were in the
first one. Yeah.
The week we were in Denali National Park, it was real rainy, misty type of day, but you would run across snow. I mean, as an Alabama boy myself, you just don't see too much snow.
But it didn't actually snow on us.
It never snowed. You would see in some spots that had shade in June, you'd still see. And then in Canada, we were in those 2 national parks, and we were on a lake that still had ice floating in it, and just beautiful areas.
And you stand there either looking at the mountains or in the mountains looking at it, and it just takes your breath away, the beauty and the magnificence of creation. It really does. I always talk about how our Lord created a beautiful world for us and gave us the ability to enjoy it, or the appreciation for it. I always like that. Yes. Okay. So y'all rode on a train also, if I remember correctly.
Yes.
We did. It was a rainy day when we were on the train, so we didn't get to see as much as we would have liked.
We saw Denali from the train. It cleared up, and just, God is good. God is good, and see it. We said it in our video, but we'd also say it here, is that we suggest take the train first, because we did one day the plane and the next day the train, and so the plane was so overwhelming how beautiful it was, and
then the train was just like, we rode a train,
It was cloudy.
It was beautiful.
It was cloudy and rainy, so it kind of
I'm glad we had the pretty day for the plane. I'd rather be on the train and because the plane might have got grounded.
Okay. Well, let's talk about some of the low lights. I know you had some problems with a broken windshield.
Yeah, we just got that replaced.
Yeah. So I read an article a few years ago talking about going on an RV trip, and it said take extra tires and make sure your windshield insurance is paid up, because you're going to run into it. So
So we checked on both those. We did get a spare tire. You know, motorhomes don't have the spare.
Yeah.
So we got a spare tire because we didn't have to use it. But
Thank goodness.
we always heard that you always find someone to put it on, but they might not have your tire there, and it could take time, weeks, a couple of weeks to get it up from the lower 48.
Yeah, the whole group lost windshields.
Yeah, and
the whole group.
The highway is the Alcan Highway is mostly paved, but there are stretches of gravel.
Well, our problem was we had a truck that was hauling gravel come by. He did not have it covered. And when he came by us, it was like he was throwing it at us. And so all 4 rigs busted their windshields from that one truck.
Sound like a shotgun going off. And he should have had a tarp over it according to the Yukon Territory's laws.
Right. Yeah.
And
we didn't get his name.
We had four dash cams, but not one dash cam called the name of the company that he was working for. So, but fortunately, all 4 of us had insurance for windshield. So that is a good point that you mentioned. Have the insurance, double check your insurance. So that's exactly what we did. Double check it, Lynn.
Yeah. Well, you know, here in Alabama, other places, but here in Alabama, we have logging trucks all the time. And I've gone through several windshields, again, passing you, or they're going up the highway and a rock will bounce backwards, whatever. So, okay. So you had to replace any other misadventures that you can think of?
I will say this about the windshield is the Boatwrights have been 5 times, and this is the first time they've had anything happen. So and I think they were running on borrowed time, but you won't have to replace the windshield every time, but they have that insurance. But Lynn, you mentioned some things.
Other mishap that we had is when we were in Dawson City. Yeah, Dawson City.
Okay.
When we started the RV to leave, it kind of hesitated, and then we filled up with gas, and then we were parking, waiting on everyone else to fill up with gas before we headed to Chicken. And when I went to start it, it wouldn't turn over. It was dead on a doornail.
Wow.
And the funny thing is, I was like, Danny, our battery is gone. But guess where we were parked? In front of a Napa auto store.
Oh, okay.
I mean, like we walked across and there's a Napa auto store. He came and tested our battery and said, your battery is gone.
Okay.
And if it had been a little further up the road, we would have been in big trouble.
Yeah, right. We're actually heading.
But we're heading to Dawson City, to Chicken. So I felt like God put us right there where we could get a new battery and stay out of trouble.
Yeah.
It was kind of cool because every time something happened, there was a solution to it, and we were never just stuck.
Right.
God took care of us.
Every time Lynn and I take off on a sojourn or headed to Marshall for me being on pad, we always pray for a safe trip and our Lord to be glorified. And we don't act surprised when something happens and it's like the best situation for it to have happened. We had a blowout one time, and it just happened right before an exit, and it was a secluded area, and I got to the top of the ramp, and it was level and wide. I could change the tire with no problem, you know. So it's like, why am I surprised? We prayed for it. So there you go. Okay.
Amen. We did have...
Yeah.
I was going to mention, we had some of these things we won't blame on Alaska. We had a water pump go out when we were there.
Yeah. Okay.
It could have been anywhere, but you know, we put 10,000 miles on the rig this summer, so that could have done it. And we had stairs that just got caked up with mud, and I think it messed up a few of a wire, and we had to do something with that to get it.
And then we had the coil wires.
Yeah, and then we had some coil wires or spark plug wires that we had to replace. But we kind of knew about that, and I probably should have replaced all the coil wires, but we had some spares with us.
Yeah. And let me say, if you ever head to Alaska, you want Tom Boatwright to go with you.
Yeah.
Because that man can fix anything.
Okay.
Yeah, and there's a lot of sojourners like that. I mean, I'm not one of them, but there's a lot out there.
I'm glad we had I I got to Camp B back in the summer, and we saw that our shackle brackets on our fifth wheel, one of them was broke completely and the others were worn. And fortunately, uh, we were able to fix it there at Camp B, and Brother Fulkerson helped me change that out. I could probably have figured it out, but it was great that I had a mechanic there who knew what he was doing.
Yeah.
So, okay. So, and I don't want to scare people off, because a trip like that is a wonderful trip. You just be sure you plan ahead of time and be ready for the unexpected. So,
yeah, that is the big thing, is be ready. There's a lot of tools out there that says, here's some things you need. We've got a video on some things you need.
Yeah.
That helped. And just because every time we had something go wrong, we had a solution for it. If someone needed something, I might have it. I remember being able to give someone a certain tool or something that helped them. So with several going, it really helped too.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And that kind of leads me to this next question about some advice you would give someone that is planning on this kind of a trip. Make sure you do plan. Don't just jump and go. So.
Yeah. Prep is key.
Yeah.
I'm sorry?
I say prep is key. You've got to, you've got to have your rig ready, your car ready, whatever you've got. Go over it twice and make sure you're in good shape.
Yeah, the planning is learn as much as you can. There's a lot of great sources out there that will tell you, including YouTube videos like ours, but that will tell you what to expect and what to do. So one of the things we did was really study that. And then another thing we did was try to plan the route out so we had flexibility in it in case something happened, or we would like the area and stayed a little bit longer. So have a little flexibility. We used RV Life, which is a app and website that will help you plan and plan how far you're going to go.
And I will say another thing that really helped us is we found some people, this was before we got to be good friends with Tom and Donna, who had already been, and we were traveling through their area, and I sent them a message and said, hey, can y'all meet up for lunch? And I had a list of questions to ask them when we got there. So just find someone who's been and go sit down and have a conversation.
Yeah, and I think you also mentioned someone a while back is about how far you can drive and what you should think about that. Not going you won't get to go as far as you think daily. A couple, 200-300 miles that day, but you cannot based on some of the roads. I remember one road we went, 77 miles in 7 hours. So, so have some flexibility in there. Know how far you can drive, especially on some of these the gravel sections of these roads and such.
Well, did you find plenty of places to overnight or stay for a while you were on the road there?
Yeah, we boondocked quite a bit. We used campgrounds. You probably could boondock
more
most nights because there's so many places and so many tools that will help you find those.
And their campgrounds are not like our campgrounds here in the lower 48. I mean, if you get 50 amp, it's incredible.
I think we found it once.
One time we found a 50 amp campsite, and you just, I mean, and even the provincial parks in Canada, they're just a place to park.
Yeah, it might be $20 for a place to park.
They're not anything. Yeah, just a place to park.
Okay.
But I used iOverlander, and it tells you where so many places are. You can say whether you're a big rig, and it's a great app, a great website to use, and it will tell you where some of these overnight spots were that you can stay for free. And Canada's real good at it. Alaska's real good at it of giving you places to stay overnight.
So was the electrical system in Canada like in Alaska? You didn't have to have any special adapter or anything like that. I know when you travel to Europe, there's different kind of plug-ins and stuff.
No, you didn't, but I don't think we actually, well, yeah, we did. No, they're just like us.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just like us.
Well, let's talk about Soldotna just a minute. So you incorporated a sojourn to Soldotna during this time. Did I understand that?
Yes.
Okay. Because I would like for more of our sojourners to want to go to Alaska for a sojourn. So how did that sojourn go?
It went great, and they also let us stay there. We stayed about a week and a half after the sojourn. We were having so much fun fishing with the preacher, we just hung around.
Yeah, and I cannot remember James's last name, but he had a place right there on the river, and the salmon were running. So we spent a lot of time fishing and
exploring
and doing. So it was,
I saw that video of you guys fishing, and that scared me when you nearly fell in that water. It looked like, oh no, that would have been a challenge to have gotten out of that water. That scared me
it was moving.
Yeah. Anyway, I could tell y'all were having fun with it, though.
We did. We went 3 or 4 days out there to his place, and he is just great about when sojourners come up and other folks come up to try to show them a good time, because he spent a lot of time in Alaska, and
but the sojourn itself was really good. I mean, I feel like we accomplished a lot.
Yeah, it was
we had another couple there with us too. Christy another sojourn couple. I can't remember their names right now.
We're drawing. We're getting that age.
Anyways.
Yeah. So it was three couples that did the sojourn there, and it's really got some work done for them at their building. So it's still done in the church.
Okay. We used to know some folks that lived up there, children of some real close friends of ours, the Berries, that lived up there for a while. They've moved away last few years ago, but anyway, okay. So I knew about Soldotna, and then I've seen it many times on the listing of sojourns that were available. And everybody that goes on it seems to have a really enjoyable time working with it, as well as the beautiful area there. So
yeah, and
we want to get more people to go. Anything else you want to add about the trip?
We would say get to Alaska. We think driving through Canada and seeing those beautiful areas, and then driving, not everyone's going to take a rig. Some people want to fly in or take a cruise into, but get to Alaska, and you can do it with your rig if you go slow and just watch out and be prepared. It was something I'm glad we did, and glad we took our rig. And if we go again, we might cruise in or fly in, but we wanted to do it at least one time.
Yeah. Okay, great. I'm going to mention about the YouTube channel and the Facebook page, because I'd like to have folks go to that and work their way through the videos and learn more about it. Okay. Well, let me wrap up. Well, friends, this does wrap up our visit with Danny and Lynn Spain. If you want to learn more about their great Alaskan adventure, you can visit their YouTube channel at RV America. You can also follow them on Facebook by searching for RV America. So thank you for listening to this podcast. If you're interested in being a guest on our podcast, or know someone we should have as a guest, or if you have a topic you would like to hear more about, please email me at sojournersevangelize@gmail.com. That's sojournersevangelize@gmail.com. I'm your host, Dave Layton, and remember, we glorify God as together we travel with a purpose. Happy sojourning.